Hi, everyone. I can't grow facial hair for shit. However, in high school, beards saved my life. Girlfriends protected me from being completely labeled a fag and allowed me to live in a justifiable denial because although I knew what blowjobs were and which classmates, teachers, and janitors I wanted to give them to, I'd look at my reality. I'd look at my reality and see a girlfriend. This allowed me to dismiss my homo urges and feel normal. Senior year, I met Cheryl. Cheryl and I met at a haunted house I went to with a group from my temple. Cheryl, who was not part of our temple, came with my friend Anne. When Cheryl saw me, she asked Anne to ask me if I thought she was pretty. I looked at Cheryl's mocha Filipino skin, her wavy black hair, and her incredibly coordinated baby outfit and said, sure. Halfway through the haunted house, a ghost rounded the corner and said, boo. Cheryl screamed and backed into my arms, and by the time we exited the haunted house, we were holding hands. A few days later, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Cheryl had fucking game, and over the next few months, I would ditch my last period study hall a couple times a week to drive from Niles West High School to Cheryl's bed in Tinley Park, where we would play patty cake with our privates until our dad came home at 5 p.m. Now we restricted ourselves to the first 3 bases until January 15th, 1996, a day that also happened to be Martin Luther King Day. On that day, freedom rang. On that day, freedom rang. On that day, Cheryl let me place my pee-pee next to her wee-wee, and it eventually slipped in. Neither of us said a word, but the Rosie O'Donnell show began playing in the background. And before that lesbian icon, I remember thinking, oh my God, I am not gay. I looked at Cheryl, scared that what I assumed was her first time might hurt, and she had obviously done this before and was totally fine. Freedom rang. So freedom continued to ring in missionary position for the next 120 seconds until I realized I was about to come inside a person. Rosie was still doing her opening monologue. I panicked, pulled out, and had my orgasm in a familiar spot, my left hand. On the drive home, I felt like I had outsmarted fate. I'd had sex with a woman. Taunting be damned, I am straight. Like any other teenage boy who suddenly finds himself a man, I listened to Madonna's Evita soundtrack on my drive home. Although I had always pictured myself as Evita, I told myself I was now Che and began singing his lines. But sometimes you can feel a sense of confidence about a lie and even look at factual events to justify your lie, but inside you know it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. So I'm driving home 75% ecstatic that I become a man, but 25% of me knows I'm Evita. And because I'm a gross boy who doesn't wash his hands after sex, I keep smelling my fingers because I want her lingering scent to turn me on. But it does not at all. The next night I talked to Cheryl.
All day, yesterday.
The next night I talked to Cheryl. No one has ever been happier about 120 seconds. I bought a whole box of condoms. There's like 30 of them. Cheryl was really excited to have sex again. I, however, was terrified. Terrified because deep down I knew our sex had been an accidental miracle. With my earlier girlfriend, sensations were new, so erections were easy to get. But by the time I was with Cheryl, I was a foreplay jaded 17-year-old who had to use my imagination to get an erection around her. And by use my imagination, I mean I pretended that Cheryl was Mike Szymanski from gym class, Ray the skater boy, Keanu Reeves, or any of the male porn stars who came through the scrambled Playboy channel I received in my bedroom. So that night, before I was to have sex with my girlfriend for the second time, I told myself that if I could do it, I would earn my straighthood and my homosexual desires would start to dissolve. Denial is fucking creative. And thus I rehearsed closing my eyes and getting hard by imagining these naked men and then maintaining that erection while I switched my thoughts to Cheryl. All the while, I reassured myself that this was what all the boys in high school did to have sex, and I confirmed my theory by keeping it to my damn self and asking no one. A practice of suppression that, if continued, is how gay men become Republicans like Mike Pence and Lindsey Graham. The next day, practice did not make perfect. The next day, the practice did not make perfect, and the condoms didn't help. Putting a condom on was not as easy as my mother had demonstrated with a banana. The result was something akin to a half-eaten gummy worm begging for mercy in a Ziploc bag. My hopes I could be straight sashayed away, and I panicked because there was Cheryl, anxiously waiting to be pleased, and I am a Libra. I was literally born to please people. So I did the next best thing. The thing the men on the Playboy channel did that now strikes terror in my fully homosexual heart. Analingus. Now, I'm not saying vaginas are gross. They are beautiful, I'm sure. I hear each one is its own unique flower. But some people like cats, some people like dogs, some people like cats and dogs, and some people love cats or dogs that are somewhere between dogs or cats. All I know is I'm allergic to pussy. But my one-on-one conversation with Cheryl's Petunia only bought me time. Cheryl wanted the D, not the T. And after a few more attempts, she broke up with me. Did I cry a river of tears after that? Sure. But those tears were tributaries leading away from denial. Thank God Cheryl knew what she wanted. Dick. And realized what stood in her way. My gay ass. While I was twirling in my own world of alternative facts, Cheryl brewed some hot tea and served it up. Hey, Archie, said, leaving a voicemail. I don't think someone like me can make you happy. Do you know what I mean? It'd be another year until Matt Leboguen showed me what she really meant in the back of his mom's Geo Tracker. But you know who or what did know? My dick. Some people say mind over a matter, and sure, that can be true, especially on acid. They also say men have two heads, and once in a while, okay, maybe once in a long, long while, it's better to listen to the one that can spit the truth, among other things, in your face. Thank you so much, everyone.